Hey guys, it's me, Holly Madison. Welcome back to my channel. I am continuing my reaction to the Girls Next Door series. This is season 2, episode 4 already. Crazy. If you hit the like and subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. And let's get going with the episode. This episode is called Mutiny on the Booty, which I thought was the worst episode name for any show we've ever had. And if I remember correctly, it's about our second pictorial we shot for Playboy, which I was over the moon to do. It was such a privilege. As you know, if you've been watching this reaction series, I'd always wanted to be in the magazine. So I was super excited the first time we got to do it, and even more excited the second time we got to do it. So here we go. So we're all gathered on Hef's bed. We've all been called into the bedroom for an announcement. So we're going to be told about the second pictorial. I don't remember if this is when we actually heard about it in real life or if we heard about it in other ways. I don't know. But I like my hair in this scene. It's very shiny. It's in a ponytail.
Pictorial was so popular and the show was such a hit that they want to do another pictorial.
When Hef told us that we were going to be doing another pictorial, I was excited and I'm happy, but I haven't even gotten over the...
You can also see in the scene that Hef has printouts of the artwork that Olivia, the famous pinup artist, did of us, and that was another dream come true too, because I'd been a fan of Olivia's work for years, and she doesn't use very many models. I feel like over the years I knew her, she would maybe like pick a new model every year, maybe, if that. So the fact that she drew us was really amazing. And I still have all my framed Olivia stuff in my house and I love it. Okay, so it shows Hef making that announcement, and then he says he wants us to shoot the pictorial on his old round rotating bed that he kept across the street at the Playmate house. And this bed was a bed he had custom made back in the 60s at his mansion in Chicago, and it was a huge novelty at the time. Like, nobody had ever heard of a round rotating bed. So he keeps this bed because it was iconic, and he wanted us to do a photo shoot on it. And for some reason, we hated it and were anti, and I don't remember exactly why. I just think it was one of those things where I've said on these commentaries before that it would be kind of annoying to me when gags keep getting repeated, which I was guilty of repeating gags too, like the I want to be married and have kids gag getting old. But I think that's how we felt about this round rotating bed, and I can't remember what context it would have come up in before, but I think at this point we were already over the round rotating bed thing for whatever reason. It's funny because it shows archival footage of Hef in Chicago on the bed, and he has a girl next to him. That girl's name was Karen Christie. She was one of his girlfriends back in the 70s. And she looks interchangeable with the three of us, like same exact hair, like same exact person. So I say in an interview that he had wanted us to shoot on that, or that we shot on the replica of his regular bed in the last pictorial. So I think that was part of why we were over it. Because throughout the years, like Hef had featured many of his girlfriends in the magazine as kind of like a female Hef type character. Like over the years, you would see women wear like his hat or his robe or his pipe or be posed on his bed or something. And we felt like we had done that once for the first issue, and we didn't want to do it again twice for the second issue. We maybe wanted to do something that expressed our personalities. But I'm not quite sure why we were so anti the round bed. I just know that we felt like the round bed in particular had been like an overplayed gag. We were over it. And again, I don't remember exactly what he did with the round bed that made us hate it at this point, but we did. It's so funny because it shows Hef being super annoyed that we weren't shooting yet. Like, we're still in hair and makeup. He's like, you guys need to be done by buffet. I'm amazed you're not shooting yet. And it's so funny because he was so far removed from the actual photo shoots that happened at the studio. Like, he didn't realize that half of the day was us getting into hair and makeup and the photographer setting up the lights. Like, the shooting was not the main part of the day. So it was kind of funny. In the interview, I go, he has no clue how long it takes to get ready for the photo shoot. He has no clue. And I remember when we screened this episode, when it came out at the mansion, Hef's brother was sitting behind me and he was like offended. He's like, oh, he has no clue. He's just the editor. And I was like, damn, nobody can have a sense of humor. And it's reality. Like, he was just so far removed from the situation. He didn't know anymore technically like what went on in a photo shoot during the day. We look so miserable. And we weren't that miserable. We were, you know, we had fun on any shoot day, no matter if it was the bed or what. But it's just like the editors are really talented at finding us at particular moments with particular facial expressions so they can cut it in to tell a certain type of story. And in this one shot they show, we just all look miserable. And I know we weren't. It's just telling the story about how we're like not into like the round bed really. But even though that wasn't like our ideal scenario, we were all excited and grateful to still be shooting the pictorial. Like we weren't miserable. I still have all the shoes from this shoot. The stylist Lane gave them to me. They're these really like high heel, classic, old Hollywood looking Yves Saint Laurent, like gorgeous, 3 different color shoes. I love them. They're still some of my favorites. I'm sorry, but my boobs look really good in this shot. So do everybody else's, but I'm just like really into it right now. I was taking a drink of water as I was watching this, and Hef's like, I like the notion that you're shooting in my rotating, vibrating round bed. Just the vibrating like made me choke on it. I don't know if the bed still worked like that. When I was a little kid, we used to go on these like super cheap family road trips. And back in the day at the super cheap motels, they would have this thing called Magic Fingers. It was like on the nightstand, there would be a box and you'd put coins in it. It would make the bed vibrate. And as kids, we just thought that was like a fun thing. Like, oh, jump on the bed. Oh my God, this is so fun. But of course now, I assume it was used for other purposes. I'm dying because there's this scene where Hef's like, how the shoot go? It was fine, but I think it was kind of like the same as last time. And we thought it would be fun if we could kind of direct our own shoots and do things that expressed our personalities. And he goes, like, what do you have in mind? Like, I don't think he can think of what our personalities are. And I'm just like, at the end of the conversation, I'm like, cool. And he goes, I'm going to order something to eat. And I'm like, cool. Awkward. Okay, so we get permission to like do our own themed shoots, and it cuts straight away to Bridget's shoot, which is like a King Kong themed shoot. And we're wearing like beaded, like jungle accessories. It was super fun. It's really crazy how elaborate this shoot was, because I feel like these days nobody would set up a shoot this elaborate. It would just be like green screen or something, but it really was something. I love how Bridget's like, my theme was King Kong, and then it cuts to me and I'm like, I love doing the Adventureland Indiana Jones theme. Like, what? I knew what it was, but I guess I was just kind of like making it my own in my head. I don't know, because I'm so into Disney. And then we're doing Kendra's shoot, which is football themed, and we got to be cheerleaders in our shoot, which I loved because I was a cheerleader in high school, so that was super fun. I loved the costume. I loved my hair in pigtails. It was so much fun. I loved doing that day. Having the Playboy photo studio in LA was nice because the staff had access to like anything LA has to offer, like all the film prop rentals, furniture rentals, backdrops, anything like that. So I wanted my shoot to be a Marilyn Monroe shoot. So Bridget and I are doing some research by watching Gentlemen Prefer Blondes on the big screen, because seeing the movie blown up that large, you could really see her makeup detail in a way that I was never able to see before, just seeing it on a smaller screen. I had a wig made for the Marilyn shoot, and I wish I would have wore it. It looks really cute when I try it on. But I remember when I tried it on, I thought, oh, it's too poofy, because I just wasn't used to seeing myself like that. So I did my normal hair instead, and I think it wasn't as good, but whatever. I'm wearing blue contacts for this shoot, and I think at one point during the shoot, one of the blue contacts like jumps out of my eye and dies or something, because I've seen outtakes from this shoot where I have one brown eye and one blue eye, and I don't remember it falling out, and it's just weird. Little break. So during my shoot, Kendra was late, and I don't remember being particularly pressed about it at the time. It's annoying to deal with people who are late, her included, and there were times it was annoying, but I don't remember being really upset about it that day. I just think it was one of those things where they needed some drama, so we went with it, but I don't really remember it even being a thing. And then they had to repaint the stairs for the photo shoot. So we played it off like there were all these like obstacles to my photo shoot, like the wig and Kendra being late and painting the stairs, but really it was no big deal, and the day went fine, and we had a fun time shooting the whole thing. And I'm saying that Hef saw the top hats that I picked out for the girls and he didn't like them. And I just feel like sometimes he had no imagination. It's funny because I had a nose job when I was at the mansion, and it was a couple years ago by the time we shot this, but my nose is still swollen from it. Like, nose jobs take years to go down. So now it's showing our cover shoot, and the shoot was supposed to be kind of like a literal take on the title Girls Next Door. And it looks like you're looking into the window of like a suburban house, and we're in there like getting dressed. And I came up with the idea for the cover. We were at a Dodgers game and we were sitting there, and I kind of drew it out on a napkin, and I'm like, oh, this should be the cover, and Hef liked it. So that's what we did. I have no idea if I get credit in this episode, but it was also a really cool cover because it was the very first time Playboy had done a front and back cover. So they shot us simultaneously, front and back. So the regular cover was on the front, and then the back of us was an ad on the back. And I had a Playboy bunny tattoo at the time, and they changed it to look like the Volkswagen Rabbit logo because the back was a Volkswagen ad. People are always asking me in the Q&As, they're like, why did they change your bunny tattoo on the back of that issue? And I'm like, because it's a Volkswagen ad. But I think you have to like look closely to realize it's an ad. It's just like the line on top is like all that would give it away. This is the first episode we see Marilyn Grabowski, the Playboy editor, and she was a character. She was like the Miranda Priestley character in Devil Wears Prada, but she was great. She's a legend. But this day she was really like kind of focusing on Bridget and putting like all her critique on Bridget. So Bridget's feelings got hurt. So that was not good. No one believes me when I say there was pretty minimal Photoshop used on the Playboy shoots back in those days. And I think this is proof of it. If you watch this episode and you see how meticulous they are about every little thing, like they weren't going in and fixing it like crazy. Like maybe smooth the skin a little bit, maybe pump up the lipstick color a little bit, but you know, they weren't making major changes. Okay, the melodramatic music they're playing in the background is on another level. It sounds like an 80s ballad. Oh, I can't believe you're leaving, or whatever the hell that song is. That's what it sounds like. It shows me in the office, and I'm totally snooping through the layout of the magazine, as I always did. I was very much a snoop, and I say, I might as well look at this, and Mary's like talking to me about snooping around, and I'm like, I might as well look at this because I think I'm gonna grow up to be an editor one day. And I didn't have any specific plans at that time, but it is funny because like a year after this, I would be working at the studio as an editor. I think my favorite line Kendra says in the entire series is she's like, he knows how much we love the individual pictures, and I think if he didn't use the individual pictures, it'd be like the worst mistake of his life. That's so funny. I'm in Bridget's room and I'm saying, I don't think he likes individual pictures of us at all for anything. And Bridget's like, I think so too. And I say, it's only good if it's the three of you together. And I really felt that way. And I've said this before in commentary. I feel that he wanted it to be that way so our self-esteem wouldn't be high. Like we felt like we were only worthy of being in the magazine if we were 1/3 of a person. You know what I mean? Like all three of us had to be together in order to make the picture good. And I think that's messed up. It's so weird seeing the certain things that will like really bring back memories. Like just seeing a shot of Hef like shuffling down the hallway, just the weird carpeted hallway with all the pictures in the walls. It like brings it back because that was such a weird, like, not weird, but like it was like an everyday thing that I don't think about at all anymore, even when Girls Next Door is brought up or Playboy's brought up. So it's like weird to see shots like that for me because I'm like, whoa, like it feels like I'm back there. And then it's revealed that our theme pictures are the primary focus of the pictorial, so we're all really excited. But if you'll notice, even in the theme pictures, we were required to have everybody in the theme pictures. Like it could be like one individual shot of us and then all three had to be in the theme, which I'm glad we did that because it ended up being really fun. But I think that was just the whole thing. Like they can't have their own pictorials. They can't have their own pictures. It has to be like everybody together. Okay, so takeaways from that episode. Sorry, I watched this in like 2 different pieces. I took a long break and then came back to finish it. So I'm like, wait, what was the whole episode? I think my favorite part was just seeing all the themes everybody came up with and how good everybody looked in the shoots and just how much fun we had doing that pictorial. I really liked that. Hanging out in Mary's office, that was nice to see. My least favorite part, you know, I didn't really have a part that I hated of this episode. I really liked it. I thought it was cute. I think maybe the part where we were focusing on my section of the pictorial and making it look like everything was going wrong. I don't hate it because I see that it's like a plot device for the show, but I don't know, maybe that was my least favorite just because it wasn't really accurate. Like I don't look back on that day and remember it being problematic, but that's only because I have to pick something that I don't like from the episode. Overall, I really like this episode. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.